I do like seeing that duo. It gets really ridiculous.
Radiant team pick.
Tide Hunter.
Okay.
Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick.
Grimstroke.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah. Should point out though, the Omni-Knight Tide Hunter is kind of interesting as well though, right? Because you've got this Tide with Kraken Shell, so it's hard to lock the Tide Hunter down. And then you've got an Omni behind it with Heavenly Praise to make it that much harder because it gives status resist. So I'm very to see if they can have like this unkillable Tide. Not that it necessarily matters, because after Ravage it's kind of like you're just anchor smashing people, but I do like these kind of fun little combinations where you just can't kill something. And the Tide so far does seem somewhat unkillable if it does have the Omni behind it. Yep.
Radiant team pick.
Medusa.
Radiant team ban. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
I do agree with you with that Doom pick. It is going to be quite nice in that Medusa. Against that Medusa, I should say. Not only the Medusa though, right? Like you can go after the Omni, you can go after the Tiny, the Tide. Pretty much any you do on the draft of Neon right now is not going to be very happy. You get that Doom off, but in particular that Medusa is also not going to be very happy being doomed up throughout a team fight. Still, I don't mind seeing the Medusa here, especially when you do have this Omni-Knight behind it to kind of make it that much more difficult to get through the HP and mana pool of the Medusa.
10 seconds
I'm just wondering whether it's going to be enough. Because with this Medusa, you are kind of expecting to go into the later stages of the game, right? But you're up against the Sven and the Doom, who can kind of farm way faster than anyone else because he has Devour. And that worries me just a little bit for Neon. So, especially the Sven factor.
Radiant team ban.
Five.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban.
I kind of agree with that. We're gonna have to see what they get up to here. I mean, T1, they're kind of just
seconds remaining.
revenge, which is pretty natural when you are up against the Medusa. Just don't want to have to give a bench Medusa away. They also get rid of the Bat Rider just to make it a bit easier for the Sven and Doom. It's like Neon, they're just getting rid of these mid heroes, so the OD and the Puck both being removed now. They seem to assume that this Doom is going to be in the off lane, and they are still waiting for a mid pickup here for Carl on the side of T1. But I do still believe that Carl might take the mid Doom though. I wouldn't really put it past him. Just say, give me the mid Doom and give Cuckoo something else in the off lane. No matter what though, if it was going to be another hero for Cuckoo, I have a minute to think about it though. Fifteen seconds left, T1. Where do we want to go with this draft?
Dire team pick.
Okay, they go for the Ember, so the offlane Doom should be there for Cuckoo. Fair enough. Carl wanted to play the Ember Spirit this game, and it does kind of make it so this draft kind of gels very nicely, right? You've got this kind of mid-tempo setting here on the Ember. He enjoys being with the Grimstroke. The Soulblind just kind of traps two people together, which guarantees the double chains off as well from that Ember Spirit. Overall, I like what I'm seeing, and I don't necessarily think the Ember cares about laning against the Medusa. Flame Guard just kind of ignores Mystic Snake altogether. However, Neon bring out an Invoker now. The safe lane Medusa, your Page will take the Invoker. Is it too greedy, John? Fair enough. See how this all pans out. Game number 2, of course, Neon, the best they can hope for right now is getting another draw for themselves, and the Team 1, of course, want to try and leave today with victory if they can. Well, just based off the draft, John, I tend to lean with kind of what you were saying. I do like T1's draft a bit more. A bit, but it might be a lot more. So, that Invoker pick, I'm not sure about it. I mean, you can play the Invoker fast for sure. That's not what I'm doubting, but it feels like all the eggs are in the Medusa basket, and that can worry me sometimes. These Invokers, they don't scale very well. It feels like they are kind of limited to how much space they can make, and it looks like we're going to find a first one very early because did run up a staircase he should not run up.
The first droplets,
What was he trying to get done? Looks like he was trying to place a deep observer ward before the game started. And unfortunately for him, T1 read him like a book.
30 seconds to battle.
And they tip you, Paj, like, what did you Paj do wrong? Changed, alright. We'll have to have a chat with him later on, maybe tomorrow.
The
So
battle begins.
see what's going on. He's he's part of T1 now, John. He's going to be a bit more serious, I guess. Maybe March had a chat with him. Stop touching that.
Nailed it! Handsome devil, aren't I? The omniscience. No sorceries avail. That was
well, I like this from Neon Esports, right? Like, you look at Genuine, the Omni Knight right now, he knows with this laning duo he's up against, he can just run at them like this. There's really not much they can do about it.
Radiant's courier.
What's an Ember going to do at level 1 with Flame Gun? Not too much up against an Omni Knight who can just keep running and hitting you. It's it might be a very fun laning stage here for this Omni.
The armor of omniscience.
Certainly is. Because we'll have a look at the other lanes while we still have a chance. Yopaj in the mid lane going to be up against Carl once again. Carl, I don't really see him copying too much pressure here on the Durm. He's going to have that Devourer available to him whenever he wants. And yeah, you might get free farm on this Invoker as well, but I just don't see it being a real problem for him. I think if you're T1, as long as Carl does get the farm he requires, you're pretty happy regardless of how much the Invoker farms.
Thanks be with you. Look out for fallen rock!
Yeah, that he is. I suppose if the levels do go up, the Scam he can start to apply a bit more pressure. We've got that level 2 crack for sure now, but he is always bound to be somewhat concerned about the stun and being swap combination. I'd say Playhard might have to be even more concerned though on the Tiny, because he doesn't have that inbuilt crack and shell. Cost back now. On, but the ink swell is going to be there, and this is what I just talked about, John. Playhard, he has to be cautious of this. Luckily for him, Jackie does not have the Stormhammer, but Playhard is still going to get chased down, and is going to go down. Jackie, able to take a kill for himself on the spend. If there's one thing you don't want to do right now as Neon, is give the kills to the spend this early.
No.
He'll be at top lane, Zephyr. It's a nice regen room for himself. Does doesn't have a bottle to be able to just keep it for himself, but nevertheless, just holds on for it.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Go for a bit of a roam around. Hey, well, John, I had to look back into the mid lane. Carl gets very lucky. He found the ice armor creep. So, probably the best creep you can ask for as the Doom, because it gives you so much more bonus armor. It's going to make it so he can't really be harassed out of the lane anymore. Meanwhile, top lane, Natsumi's just being run down now by Cuckoo and Zephyr, so that early game start that Cuckoo was struggling with, it just doesn't seem to be a problem any longer.
Bounce.
So that timing is over now for Januel, and he is just kind of forced to play a bit more passively on the Omni. Trying to do standard support things, you know, just trying to get pulls off and be disruptive. It's going to mean that Cuckoo and Zephyr are able to really farm up. On the brighter side, though, of course, it does also mean Natsumi is having a decent enough time right now. Doing just fine.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
So Genuel might just die. Cuckoo is a bit slow at the moment, but Genuel is still burning out the flame guard damage. I think he is going to be able to run away just fine, and he does have a salve use up. Still though, they really do enjoy applying this pressure up at this top lane. Cuckoo will just continue freely farming away on the Ember. And I realize you were just pointing out the fact that Medusa and Sven both like taking stats, John. I think that's something that they'll have to be very careful about on both sides, is to not have those stats stolen from each other. Very, very low now, but Cuckoo, he may have gone a bit too far. His stick snake flies through, but the raindrops will block out most of the damage, but a great tornado out from Yopaj with a toss back from Playmart back into Natsumi, and Yopaj was able to take the kill, and now Zephyr also going to be in trouble, does go down, and it's just a fantastic rotation out from our Invoker.
To the omniscience.
Dire's structures are fortified. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire are scanning.
Playhard. Playhard ran into the wrong target, John. He ran into Jackie, gets a toss off, and that'll be enough to keep him alive. One hit would have done it. So now they're aware, of course, that Jack standard spin stuff and is just in the farming up freely with that gold strength. And I don't know, you've got to be a bit concerned about this. Every time I see a Sven doing this, I think to myself, what does the other team do to slow this down? I think it is going to be a lot of pressure on Playhard to make sure he keeps following, stalking Jackie this game, and being a little bit disruptive.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Cuckoo top lane, again going to be rotated on by Yopaj. Zephyr going to get there to try and help him stay healed up, and it looks like it might actually just be enough. Cuckoo has been very aggressive with these dives underneath the tower. Is not going to get punished for it this time around. He's going to be just fine. He is left on very low HP and mana, but you'd imagine Zephyr will be able to heal him up later on, unless your card catches him out mid-TP, and he does. Cuckoo trying to get himself out. Zephyr keeping him alive, but Genuino able to get the purification off. Even Zephyr now copying a bit of damage. He'll be okay, but he has lost his core ember.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Jackie.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Looks like Jackie's gonna be alright. Just trying to stack up. Doesn't really want to get hit by the Purifying Flame's pure damage though. Especially when you're that low. Thing is though, it's a spell, Johnny. You can just heal up very quick with that Morbid Mask and Carl. Ends up killing off Scam now on the Tide Hunter.
No sorceries avail.
Why Monsters does actually get the bounty route, but is maybe gonna die after this, and yeah, they pop the drums to try and help him get out of there, but they have the damage output.
Is under attack. Dire's top tower has fallen. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
There is Jackie going to be targeted. Whole Snap will be there. Now Scared also around the corner. Doesn't have the Ravage. He will just commit. And it should be a very important pick off here for Jackie, who's trying to run away, but he will not be able to get away from the grass over this Invoker as Yapage still moving forward, trying to go after Cuckoo now. Does have the Cold Snap back up in just a moment with the Urn Charge. It is going to slow Cuckoo down quite a bit, but now Zephyr is just going to tether to him and keep him safe. But they won't mind, John. They got the big one. They got the Jackie Sphere.
No.
Good. Piggy back. He's running out.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
The smaller game now, 3 to 5. To be expected with these kind of drafts though. Carl gonna have his mana drain and play hard, looking for a toss back, but doesn't want to dive too deep. You see Jackie coming in, and they don't want to risk too much. Props to Neon as well, John. While all this is happening, Natsumi is freely farming away. In terms of the game plan, they are kind of achieving it here with their Medusa.
By the omniscience.
Play hard. And the Apars trying to go into Zephyr, but they see the TPs coming in. Won't bother pursuing any further, especially underneath that tier 2 tower. Both teams just happy to chill out. Nobody too stressed out about fighting right now. Jackie, I mean, you look back at the Sven, he's working towards that BKB, and I'm sure straight after that we'll see the Aghanim Scepter popping up. And that'll be go time for Jackie. Natsumi, I mean, you at least want to wait for the Mantle to be available on this Cuckoo side. However, to the south, White looks like he has been caught out. Cuckoo is there to try and help out, but he's not going to bother. Yapage once again setting up another kill on this Invoker, 4-0-1 now. Just don't really have the answers for him quite yet. How? Let him have a job. You're right. Carl, gonna get spotted here by Play Hard. They'd love to get a toss back. To be able to just kind of juke him out. Meanwhile, Cuckoo trying to protect this T1 mid tower. He's dealing with Skim on this Time Hunter.
Is under attack.
He just continues
Dire's top tower
to whack away this T1 tower. Your pass, great tornado timing. One jump on by Carl, he could not get the Doom off in time. Soulbite gonna be expended for Carl, is now out of mana. He'll stick charged up, but he's gonna die before he can get the Doom off. Cuckoo's gonna rush in, but he's just gonna keep running forward with haste rune. He's not gonna bother sticking around. But now Neon. They invaded the Radiant Triangle. And you know who they want. They were having a look around for Jackie, but he ran further north and he's going to be alright unless they run in for this bounty rune. Play hard, he's going to be able to take him while Cuckoo gets the other two across the map. Jackie now will show him because he does just rip apart Play hard. Scam's going to be careful as well. It's just so much damage coming out from this damn Sven. The Guardian Angel though will come out. Zephyr. He's actually going to relocate. He'll leave Jackie behind as Januel now going to die to the Sven. Cuckoo looking for a bit more. We'll try to chase down Natsumi. He does have the level 2 chains available. Does get it off, but Natsumi is just way too far backwards. They'll leave him be. Japaja coming in, but Carl does get him with the stop. God Strength is just about to wear off, and that'll be cute for T1 to back out.
Radiant structures are fortified.
The next level play. The next level play.
I do agree with that sentiment. It doesn't feel like we've actually seen a Doom this game. If we have, it's been a while now. That Soulbite, you definitely want to try and go for some double Dooms. In fact, they go for a single right now onto that Time Hunter. And they kill off Scam. He's a tanky target. Yopard is going to come in with the Stone Gaze out from Natsumi, and Carl, he's going to drop very low. He's just died, but he's still running away. He does manage to get out. Zephyr will get him up and Jackie going into the backline now with the double stun out. The Ravage is there. Just in the nick of time. They will kill off Whitehot. Jackie pulls along with Bubble, also die. Cuckoo gonna fly his way in. Does kill off Jackie one, but it may cost him his own life. He'll try to remnant towards the east of the map, now the west, but he's gone right back in the middle of everyone. Tornado out from the Yopars again. Still Cuckoo trying. A 3-man stomp comes out from Carl now, but it just does not matter. It will be a 3-for-1 trade, and you know what, Johnny? Make it a 4-for-1. They won't be able to secure a full team wipe, but that is a big, big team fight for Neon Esports.
Radiant are scanning. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
We not. Kumi is down the bot lane by himself, but the S and Y up now, so he's just a bit tanky and he's got a bit more snatch resist going for himself. Cuckoo will point the side of Neon as they are grouping up into this radiant jungle, but where are they going for the team fight? Carl is going to chase down Play Hard. Doesn't have to doom up for another 20 seconds, but Cuckoo's just going to jump in with Jackie there. They will just try to burst down the Tiny, and it looks like they are going to get away with that one kill. On to Carl, however, they lost the Doom. That is not what you wanted if you are T1. One now just kind of forced to back off. Neon, a 5k net worth advantage. They are well and truly on their way, having a very good game.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Good. Tornado up. Play hard, but not getting there in time for the avalanche though. Very, very close call there for Cuckoo. Getting to that stage now where Natsumi, he'll start working towards that Eye of Skadi build up, and it does tend to get a bit painful. Especially for the Sven once you do have that Skadi up. So you can just be kiting around so much easier. Scam is going to run into Carl on the dirt. Yapage going to be there to try and cut him off, but they're going to initiate. One, he runs into Scam now. Cuckoo there to help out, but there's like one sign he does. Carl trying to run for the dirt, he won't bother though. Cuckoo just backs out. They will just leave it at that. It kind of looks like they're just kind of stuck waiting now for Jackie, who... Well, he's queued up a Silver Edge before the Aghanim Scepter. I guess that's one way you could do it.
Radiant's
I don't
middle
believe it's
tower
going
is under attack.
to really solve the issues they're having though.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower has fallen. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Well, they're going to go after Zephyr now. Just wanting to make sure there's no kind of relocate play. Relocate on cooldown anyway, but they will just burst him down just in case. Now onto Jackie. Avalanche just barely connecting there from play hard. They keep going. He has a toss up in a couple seconds, but he walks the wrong way, and now Jackie is just stuck in the tree line. He'll go for a BKB TP up. That was his 10-second charge, but he really had no choice in the matter. He just had to get out of it.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified. Dire's structures are fortified.
They certainly don't.
Radiant's bottom
Not yet,
tower
anyway.
has fallen.
I say not yet, but I mean, I just said a moment ago, Natsumi, once he has that Eye of Skadi up, it becomes infinitely
Radiant's
harder.
is under attack.
Just feels so confident to walk up this high ground and just start hitting away at that tier 3 tower. Cuckoo's going to show up, but the Heavenly Grace is going to make sure Natsumi is very, very safe. Jackie does show up, but rather Shadow Blade up now, the Sven. Along the back lines, Carl has jumped in on his motor. Does end up running the Doom into the double Doom as well. This could be a great start here for T1. They do lose quite one straight off the bat, and now Natsumi